Welcome back. Every day, cattlemen and women care for their land and their animals. They do so because they're committed to leaving what they have better than they found it. We're featuring the 2017 regional winners of the Environmental Stewardship Award. Let's take you to Arizona to see the Region 6 award winner.
Just down the road from Winslow, Arizona, you'll find Chevelon Butte Ranch, named for the distinctive landmark which dominates the skyline. The O'Haco family is recognized as having one of the largest working cattle ranches in Arizona.
This ranch is about 60-some thousand acres. There's about 26,000, almost 27,000 deeded, over 10,000 in state leases, and the forest allotment is 27,000 acres.
We're cow-calf operators. They had Herefords originally, and they've switched over to mainly Angus and Black Baldy cattle. The calves are born in March, and they're usually sold in November.
Jim and Jeanne O'Haco are the third generation to ranch on this land. Jim's grandfather started the operation back in 1898, but he didn't raise cattle at the time.
Jim's grandfather had sheep on this outfit for most of his lifetime, and then when Jim's father took over, he did the transition from sheep to cattle.
He started switching over to cattle because they couldn't find any sheepers. There was more cowboys around than sheepers, and that's one of the big reasons they did.
Conservation planning has been a part of this outfit from the beginning. Most projects are designed to improve water resources, since this part of Arizona averages just 16 inches of rain a year.
Arizona's kind of a dry state, so we've got a lot of challenges with drought. So anything that can help with water, that's probably your most important thing of any operation is your water. We've done a lot of projects with that to improve the water systems.
Jim has worked alongside state and federal agencies to improve the ranch for cattle grazing and wildlife. One project restored around 14,000 acres of grasslands by removing invasive juniper.
We've added to what my dad did. We've done quite a few thousand acres of juniper eradication, and it's helped immensely. When I was a boy, we burned acre after acre of juniper trees that he'd chained over, but we don't have to do that anymore. We're using a new machine. It grinds the juniper completely up, just leaves mulch. And after some of the juniper eradication, it increased our grasses 30 to 40%. So it made a big difference.
But the biggest project, by far, was the installation of the High Point well, which allowed water distribution to all corners of the operation.
We decided to put the storage tank, it's a 100,000-gallon storage tank, on top of the highest mesa around here, so that's why it got the name High Point.
It was initially just going to be another well with a storage tank and a little bit of pipeline off of it. And before we knew it, we ended up with over 40 miles of pipeline and over 30 drinkers on it.
It took us almost 10 years. Kevin and I were about the two working on it, and there was others from time to time, but it was 3 to 5 miles a year, and it took us basically 10 years, and we have what we have today. We've got water to every corner of the ranch, from one end of the ranch to the other now. So if it doesn't rain, we can always pump the water.
Our cattle, the weights improved on them, the heavier weights, because the cattle didn't have to walk so far to water. And usually if they didn't have the water, the area around any watering hole, the vegetation was trampled because that's where they had to stay to water. And they couldn't graze out very far to get water. So that's made a tremendous difference as far as the vegetation and improvement of the land.
Jim has done a wonderful job putting this pipeline in and putting it in a manner that it provides water year-round, even during our cold periods in the winter. So, wildlife is able to drink out here year-round anywhere on this ranch.
We made an agreement with Arizona Game and Fish that we would leave them on year-round, and that keeps the wildlife spread out too. It's just a win-win situation for everybody, for the environment, the wildlife, the cattle. Everything is done better because of that water project.
At Chevelon Butte Ranch, the gates are open to visitors, and the public is allowed nearly unlimited access to the land during hunting seasons.
This ranch is just one of those jewels that has a lot of good habitat, and it definitely highlights the fact that wildlife and ranching can coexist and coexist well.
Jim also shares his time and knowledge in a variety of ways off the ranch, including serving as president of the Arizona Cattle Growers Association.
He's a busy man. I don't know how he does it. You know, he works full time, works 7 days a week, 12, 14-hour days, and yet he's still on committee after committee after committee, and when somebody asks him to do something, he doesn't say no.
But he always puts this outfit above his own needs. That's ultimate commitment in my view. And he always sees to the needs of this place and whatever lives here prior to his own needs.
The O'Haco family has over a century of experience caring for the landscapes in eastern Arizona. Their ongoing stewardship efforts will ensure that Chevelon Butte Ranch is around for future generations.
Jim's always been under the philosophy that his grandfather left it better for his father left it better for him, and he wants to leave it better for the next generation. So, you know, from day one since I've known him, he's always improved whatever he's had, and he's tried to make it better, and you can see that in what he's done over his lifetime.
Two things in life that I've always wanted to do, and I think I've accomplished them mostly, is to have quality cattle, and number two is to help the environment or the habitat. So, and I think we've done that. The job's not done. We always can improve. We always learn from our past and keep on improving.